Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well, what do we have here? Honesty. We got a woman from Nolan Wells' town who says, hey man, this ain't new. We've been through this already. And guess what? The reaction wasn't nearly the same with people trying to pocket watch the parents. It wasn't nearly the same with people disparaging the deceased. She said almost the entire town came together when it happened to this young lady that you see on the right. That is Aubrey Wyatt. Aubrey committed suicide at the age of 13 because she was being bullied. Aubrey committed suicide in the same town that Nolan lives in, or lived in, Ocean Springs. Yeah, fam. And this woman, Nay Davis, told an incredible story of how different the community was, how they rallied, almost the entire community rallied around Aubrey. And the biggest question was, hey, what's the difference? What was the difference here? You got two sets of grieving parents. You got two deceased teenagers from the same town. What's the difference? But they say it ain't got nothing to do with race. They always say it ain't got nothing. They never say, yeah, that's race related. That's race related. They never say that. They always, you're always making it about race. Nobody makes things about race more than racist. Here's what Nay Davis said on Facebook. I just want to interject my 2 cents here about something related to Nolan Xavier Wells' situation here in Ocean Springs. Note for my Facebook friends who aren't local, since this has now spread to the national news. This happened in my hometown where I lived for 30 years. Nolan attended the same schools as all 3 of my boys. I know this town and its people very well. I am not going to theorize what did or didn't happen to Nolan. None of us knows. Well, I'll interject right there and say, some of y'all do know. Anyway, she says, none of us knows. And there have now been approximately 11 quadrillion posts from people giving their opinions. All the conspiracy theories don't help matters, so I'm not promoting any. Nope. This post is just to point out something that, so far, I have not seen anyone around here saying. This is not about what happened to Nolan. It's about this town and what's happened among us. Aubrey Wyatt. Aubrey was a beautiful girl who ended her own life. It rocked this entire town. Like with Nolan, it made it to the national news. Like with Nolan, there was a group of other kids here in town who were connected to the case. There were questions about culpability because Aubrey had allegedly been bullied. Some of the kids in the Wyatt case had powerful parents that some believed were able to shield them from accountability. Initial investigations found no reason to charge them. So Aubrey's mom lawyered up, raised money for legal fees, did interviews. The case went national. People held fundraisers. A girl wrote a song about it and performed it on American Idol. Social media groups formed and screamed for justice for Aubrey. There were demonstrations, yard signs for Aubrey. And here at home, I saw almost total support for this. This town was out in full force with torches and pitchforks to see Heather Wyatt get justice. Posts with updates about Aubrey's case got no pushback that I ever saw. No complaints that money was being raised to fund her case. No griping that all the media attention would make Ocean Springs look bad. People saw a grieving parent doing everything possible to seek answers and, if warranted, justice for her child. So, here in this town that claims it's colorblind, Why are so many reacting to the Nolan case completely different? So many ready to instantly exonerate the kids who were involved, expecting parents to take the initial investigation at face value and move on, belittling a grieving family for fundraising to support a proper investigation, complaining about showboating. Folks seem to be more angry that Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are now involved than they are that a young man lost his life. I am so very tired of hearing, why do they have to make it about race? I promise you that there isn't a white parent in this town who wouldn't utilize every connection and every resource they could to fight for their own child if need be. They certainly had no problem with it when another grieving parent was white in a high-profile case. I don't know what happened to Aubrey, and I don't know what happened to Nolan, but I empathize with the parents in both cases. Both deserve to have proper investigations and answers. And the people in this town need to stop centering their own butthurt white feelings. Show up and support grieving parents the same way regardless. Then it won't be about race. I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it, fam. First of all, thank you, Nate, for those words. Right on point. Right on point. You might make a few enemies because, boy, do they hate the truth and accountability. But what is the difference here? Seem like two young kids, young adults, two kids, teenagers, live in the same town, human beings. Both of them got look like two arms and two legs. They got a head, nose, two eyes, two ears, lips. Yeah, I think they are pretty much human beings, both of them. However, it's something about when Black people are murdered or even accused of something bad. There is a presumption of guilt. Anything involving Black people and money, there is a presumption that they didn't earn it, that they somehow don't deserve it. I see everybody pocket watching Black folks. They love pocket watching Black folks, even all in the media. Soon as a Black person get a contract, here they go, talking about how much they make it all the time. You can talk about sports all you want to, and yes, those salaries are public knowledge, but they labor on the Black athletes' salaries. They always want to know what you get. Al Sharpton, Ben Crump are going to be Johnny on the spot in these type of situations. What they hate most about Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, no matter what their motives are, what they hate about them is that they bring attention to injustice against Black people. That's what they hate the most because they don't believe Black people deserve justice. That's what they hate the most. When I see people saying negative things about Ben Crump, usually they saying it in regards to him helping somebody Black. Same thing with Al Sharpton. It ain't about his politics and none of that type of stuff. It's always got to do with him in the corner of a Black person that's maybe a grieving loved one, right? or somebody that has been done wrong by the system. They can't stand people who advocate for black folks. They can't stand it. Some of them, that's why they don't like me, because I'm gonna ride. But it don't really make me no different, because they can't stop me. They ain't gonna do nothing about it. They ain't like they gonna scare me or nothing like that. And I'm used to all of the tactics. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. The name calling, ain't none of that gonna faze me, because I know they are. When they come after me, I already know who they are. They tell on themselves. They tell on themselves. They can't make it make sense. They're speaking strictly from emotions. These people are hypocrites. And Nate Davis just called them out. These are her neighbors, and she called their hypocritical asses out. The difference is race, and it's clear. The protest is because black people already know that justice probably ain't gonna come. Anytime there's a black-white situation, justice is really, really slow. And sometimes it don't show up at all. Yeah, they're gonna be mad at her. They are going to be mad at her. But can you imagine being so uncivilized, you push a 13-year-old girl to commit suicide? This girl had to experience some severe bullying for her to want to end her life, and nobody was held accountable. Because you have parents who have means and they have resources to shield their children from accountability, and then those children become them later in life. Those children become those bullies in high school, becomes bullies in corporate America. The bully, the killer in middle school and high school becomes the killer in society on a much larger scale. They become your mass shooters, because what happens is that their parents reward bad behavior, but they can't wait to scream how black people are not good parents. They love screaming, black people are not good parents. Nay, I appreciate the message. I really do. But we already knew all of that. No more talk.